So
Yeah, when do we usually do that? We probably shouldn't, we should probably do that sooner than later. And then I guess the question is, when do we contact the different units to get the negotiations going?
Historically, it doesn't need to continue this way, but historically, in most collective bargaining situations, it is the collective bargaining unit that contacts management and states that we are prepared to begin negotiations.
Okay.
And what you'll see in North Reading is that the first week of January, most of those letters will arrive in the superintendent's office.
Okay.
It's not to say we can't do it.
No.
And then at that stage, you develop your strategies, develop your team, and begin the process.
Well, I think that's fine because we don't, they're not going to begin negotiations until they're ready. So my assumption always is when they're ready, we'll get notified, correct?
And Kyle's correct in that assessment. The only problem is I found in the past that the Teachers Association in particular sometimes, and I don't want to say this wrong, but might drag their feet a little bit, which brings you closer and closer to the expiration date, which puts you negotiating beyond the expiration of the contract sometimes, So I'm wondering if maybe we don't get notified, 6 months before the contracts expire, that maybe we send something out to them.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, we did go beyond the contract last time.
Oh, yeah,
in August,
both
right?
of the last times.
Yeah.
But we've done it the last two, and part of the reason is it was so late getting started.
Right.
And again, it was.
So I think if we don't hear from them in January, we should
Yeah.
reach out to them. I think that would be a good strategy because we don't want to let it go beyond 6 months.
The first three items here all ought to happen before January.
Oh, absolutely.
correct,
yeah.
right.
And that's why it's. I think it's important. I agree with Karen. We can put school committee down there as person responsible, but we ought to appoint people because obviously those people are going to study the contracts or look at the contracts that are relevant to that particular group they're negotiating for.
I think, should we do that tonight or should we? I don't know if anybody's given any thought to it. Maybe we should wait till the next.
We could wait till the next
Wait
meeting.
till the next meeting.
But if you're going to do a paraprofessional contract, you're going to want to take a look at the comparable paraprofessional contracts, And
So how have we, Carl? With paraprofessionals, we've had one. We usually on all of these we've usually had one school committee representative, right?
Two for the teachers.
With the teachers, we've had two.
Yes.
And now, Cliff, your status, can you do any of them? Or
I can do anything except for
teachers, right? Okay, so, I would like to get the new members involved in some of these negotiations. We don't have to pick the teachers now. I can tell you that I'd be interested in.
I've done the last two, and
I'd be interested in pursuing, in
But
staying on with the
I don't want
teachers
to
for the
step
next
on
time
anybody's
around.
toes either, but we've done a really good job.
We have.
You guys have done an excellent job. The one thing I would like to clarify is that can any of us, other than you, because you can't, but could Mike and I actually observe? Is that possible? Because we're new, we should learn how to do it.
It's a good question, Karen. I'm not sure if you can do that with more than two members because now you've got a quorum and it's not an open meeting.
We can at least help and
Yeah, you will help in terms of setting the
no, you'll be
strategy,
involved,
and then every meeting we'll have an executive session where we'll discuss, and we'll take
Right. And
input from everybody.
Maybe, Karen, that a member can fill in for another member that
Right.
isn't there, too.
Okay, but that is something I really do want to do, is sit down with, Mike and I need to sit down with you and learn from this. Maybe, we could have some meetings or something where we start reviewing this, because we both need to learn how to do this.
But I will tell you, just from my experience, I jumped right in. I was assigned to the paraprofessionals, and I basically sat there the first meeting and just watched and listened to David, and I spent some time with David beforehand going over the strategies.
I
and
meant
it's-
for the teachers.
But
That's what I
interesting
really
enough,
wanted.
David played much less of a role in the
With the
teachers'
teachers, yeah.
negotiations than
Yeah.
he did in some of the other
Right.
contract
Right.
negotiations.
With the teachers, it was more our attorney and me and Jerry, really.
Yeah.
But I think you get is pretty much as good a flavor as you need by participating in one of the
One of
other
the other
groups.
ones.
You
Okay.
definitely
That's
do.
fair.
Obviously, the whole committee has to formulate the strategy.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
We
approve,
have
right.
to go in agreeing on the
Right.
strategy that we're going to
Yeah.
take.
Makes sense.
So I would like to say, let's put that on the agenda for next time to appoint committee members for the negotiations.
So if I may, if we go back to the action plan and we look at those first two bullets, under persons responsible for reviewing existing contracts.
I think
the
we need-
entire committee?
Yeah, but I think we should probably make those assignments next meeting once we get
Yeah.
people for each negotiation.
So the school committee reps.
Right, and the same thing for the second one, too.
And I'm gonna guess too, I think that the superintendent has to be tied into it as well,
Right.
obviously,
And I'd say the
like everything else.
director of finance and
Yeah.
operations.
Now, do you have Michael, Karen, you guys have the contracts, the existing contracts at home?
Yes, I do.
Did
Do
you
have
get
a
them,
folder?
Michael, do you know?
Yeah, you should have a binder.
If you didn't get them, you should talk to Ann.
It's in that black binder.
Yeah, it's in the black binder, yeah.
And you know what, Mike, you and Karen, because you're not as close to it as we are, so you have almost a better
Right,
perspective.
of reviewing.
You should go through that and say, and we've talked about this before.
Right.
About what you think some priorities are, because I think that would be valuable hearing from somebody that's
Yeah.
looking at it,
New to it,
new to it,
fresh.
you know,
Yep.
really, and,
Yep.
and set the priorities, help set the priorities.
That's great.
So, we'll make those official assignments the next meeting. And then the priorities for collective bargaining is the entire committee.
You'll get it.
And successfully negotiate expiring employee contracts is again, the representative along with either Carl or, no, Carl I forget, was David involved in the custodial, or did you handle that
I handled that,
with a representative from the school committee?
yes, but he was always there.
Right.
He was, we did it
So
together.
he participated in all the okay.
Yes.
Okay. And also
There was never a collective bargaining negotiation of any nature that he didn't attend,
okay,
although I might have taken the lead on
Right.
many of them.
okay. Good. And then we have improved student achievement. And in terms of what the school committee can do in this area, approve a budget that supports improved student achievement. Continue to improve assessment of results, SAT, ACT, AP, and MCAS, and we have some numbers tonight on a lot of these tests that we'll be looking at. Continue to expand and improve student organizations. Extracurricular activities are a key part of student achievement and in a lot of ways help students to perform better on the academic side of things. Support expanded and enhanced professional development, we talked about that before, and that'll be, Kathy and Patrick and the committee, professional development committee, and assist with the development of the district technology plan. I think Michael has an interest in working on that, and I'm fine with him working with you, and there'll be a technology committee, district committee,
Yes.
right?
I've already met with Patrick, and we're in the process of putting that back together.
And Michael can participate in that?
Yes.
Okay, great,
Mike will be contacted.
excellent. So the budget, approve a budget that supports improved student achievement, I think that speaks for itself. The person responsible is the administration and the committee. And I'd actually say the admin team also, because they are gonna provide input, and then the due date is June 2011. And then we have continue to improve assessment and results. The main persons responsible there, I would say, would be the individual school administrators, the director of academic services, and the superintendent. Would those be the three?
Mm-hmm.
And that's an ongoing due date. There's no specific due date there because it's based on when we have the tests and then what plans we need to put into place to improve our performance on those tests. Continue to expand and improve student organizations. That's, I would say, that's mainly middle school and high school, correct? Because that's where most of the requests are.
We do have after-school enrichment at the elementaries as well.
that's right.
And we want to continue to expand those.
So that again would be school administrators, superintendent, but also school committee, because I think we can make suggestions if we have ideas, and we also have to approve all of these, any of the new clubs and organizations that come to us. And again, that's ongoing, there's no due date there. Support expanded and enhanced professional development, we've talked about that already. That's ongoing again. Although, no, we need to,
We have a date.
right, we'd like to get some, if we're gonna put that in the budget, we'd like to get that in the December timeframe. And then we talked about the district technology plan. Do we have a date for when that committee will get together and,
No, but I know that the technology plan needs to be, I believe it needs to be submitted. It expires in 2010, so I would like to say we have a December deadline.
that's submitted to the state?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
so-
put tentative December at this
Okay,
point
so
in
that'll be
time.
you, technology committee, and Michael from the school committee.
It's Patrick.
Patrick?
Yes, Patrick is in charge
Okay,
of this committee.
okay. And Michael, you're okay with that?
Sure.
All right. Anything else? Any questions on these? I like the format.
I love
We
this
haven't
format.
reduced the amount of work we're going to be doing, but we've put it into a format that will keep us more accountable.
I'll tickle pink. with
Jerry?
it.
And I noticed that most of the work has to get done before the first of the year.
Yes, right. But, and the good thing is we have a timeline. We'll be reviewing these every 3 months or,
Yes.
just to make sure that we're on track. And it's really easy for us to measure where we are on these. So, excellent.
Can I suggest that we start bringing in maybe a computer screen and a projector?
Oh, an overhead?
have-
Yeah, I think when we do the reviewing, we definitely have the,
Not an overhead, but just I think.
Oh, yeah,
for
with
the
the-
meeting, just in case, we should probably have a screen and a computer, because we could have edited this online.
right.
So you don't have to go back and redo all that work in the morning, but I mean, who knows what document we're gonna throw up and edit and change.
But I would like to have that here, especially too, when we do the quarterly reviews.
Oh, definitely.
So we can
No,
then
definitely. But
enter in.
Every meeting would be great, and then if we need it, we throw it up and get it up and running.
I'll have my iPad soon. I will soon be also paperless. I'll just have my iPad in front of me here while the meeting's going on, so I won't need any more paper.
There's
You're
always
getting
gonna
me
be
one?
paper.
Come on.
Wait till the new-
No,
wait till the
I'm buying
new
my
one
wife
comes
one,
out.
but,
Oh, good, that's good.
so we're all set with goals. I think the 2 workshops were very good. We covered a great deal of substance in those 2 meetings. We're a little hungry at the last one, but we forgot the pizza, but
We didn't forget the pizza.
no, but
It's all your fault, Jerry.
that's all right. We survived. Next, report, opening day.
Opening
Kathy?
day. We're open.
We're open. We're open for business.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
We're open. As you know, we welcomed the staff back on September 1st at the high school. So we had an opening meeting, and then we welcomed our students back for the first day of school on September 7th, and those were students in grades 1 through 12. Pre-kindergarten and kindergarten students had orientation sessions on September 7th and 8th, and their classes began on Thursday, September 9th. I'd just like to thank publicly the maintenance staff for all of their hard work in ensuring that our buildings were completely ready to accept students on that first day of school. The floors were shiny, any repairs that needed to be made were done, and it's because of their hard work. And I was here late many nights, and so were they, so I can attest to them making sure that everything was all set prior to the opening of school. And in addition, the classrooms were welcoming. The opening day went very smooth according to all of the building principals. I did have a chance to visit all of the schools, so I could really feel the excitement and the anticipation of the new school year, both by the students and the faculty. So I think it went very well. Any questions about the opening?
I just had one. Any issues with losing that one day of orientation for bringing in, say, like,
Oh,
didn't
right, we
lose
used
that
to
grade
start,
6, grade 9?
right, we used to start, well, we did that last year too. Didn't we start everybody on the same day last year, Carl?
Did we?
Yes, this is
I
the
think
second.
we did.
It's the
Second
second
year
year
we've
we
done
did?
it.
Okay, all right, so it's not an issue then?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And did it work with, this is the first time we started on Tuesday.
Yes,
Um,
that's correct.
No issues there, and
Didn't seem
nobody
to
forgot
be.
to come to school on Tuesday, waiting for the next day.
No, I think that people were eagerly awaiting, parents were eagerly waiting to
Oh,
put
they-
their children
sure
back
they
on the bus.
Sure were.
I do know, working,
Sure were.
spending a lot of time at the North Reading Youth Soccer annual Labor Day tournament, I do know a lot of the parents involved were moaning about not having that one recovery day that we used to have after the tournament to get your kids ready for school. But other than that, I think they were fine. So that's good. No, and we have a preliminary enrollment
You do.
figures.
This evening, I handed out the preliminary enrollment figures to you. So you can see on that first page, there's a breakdown of enrollment by grade, by school, for a total of 536 students at the Batchelder, 399 at the Hood School, 413 at the Little School, and for a total elementary enrollment of 1,348. Average class sizes for each of those grades break down as follows. In kindergarten, average class size is 19, first grade 19, second grade 22, third grade 20, fourth grade 21, and fifth grade 23. So those are favorable class sizes. We do have some areas,
Right.
and we'll go on the second page and talk
Right.
about that in a minute. I just wanted to note also that all of the preschool classes are now located at the Little School. Our enrollment in preschool is down. You need to know that.